There's a way you take me up from down and place my feet on solid ground.
Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of A Day in My Life as a School Social Worker. Now I'm just getting ready to see what I have to do today. I told you guys in one of my other videos that I like to write a to-do list every day of the things I have to do. So I wrote the one for today yesterday. So on today's agenda, I have a client, actually I have a diagnostic assessment, intake assessment at 10 a.m. and then I have a client right after. And then I have to see another client because he was out yesterday. They were on a field trip. And then I have to complete two treatment plans today. So that's what I have to do today. Today is Friday. I typically don't like to put so much on my Fridays just because I don't like to. I like my Fridays to be chill days. I'd rather bulk up towards the beginning of the week and then have the end of my week be like for makeup sessions if I have to. I like to re-up on things for my office. So yesterday I got some tissue because tissue is an essential, okay? I'm a therapist and people cry a lot with me, in front of me. So I needed to re-up on those. And then also the kids have been requesting to make slime. Now we've made slime before, but like, I don't know what's going on. Like the formula does not come out the way it's supposed to. When I used to make it at one of the other schools I worked at, we had it down packed, but for whatever reason, it's just not working. So I had to buy some glue. This glue said that it's great for slime. So I was like, I need to get this. We can't go wrong with this. So I bought 2 of these. That's all they had. I would have bought more. And then I got some glitter glue because they like to make their slime glittery. And then I got this glow in the dark glue as well. Wanted to share some other resources with you guys as well. So if you work with kids who have gone through trauma, which I'm sure you are working with kids who have gone through trauma, then this is a great book for you to utilize in your practice. This is called Healing Days, a guide for kids who have experienced trauma. It's really good. I feel like it's something that any child can benefit from that has gone through any sort of trauma because it helps them feel that they're not alone. And then also this is something that I've been utilizing recently called the CBT Toolbox for Children and Adolescents. And this is very similar to the Child Psychotherapy Treatment Planner that I showed you guys a few videos ago. That this is more, I should say, it's more robust, right? It's more robust. It covers a lot more diagnoses and treatment plans and objectives and things like that. Whereas this only has a handful of things it is dealing with. So this one actually has like exercises. It has worksheets. They have different things that are addressed or can be addressed, like childhood trauma, conduct disorder, autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, etc., etc. And they give you different exercises and things you can do that are specific to that. Another thing that I have to do today is I have a consultation with one of you. So one of you reached out to me wanting to meet with me about career and just questions that she has. And so that's going to be later on this evening. If you didn't know, I'm open to doing career consultations. I've had a few of you actually reach out to me via email wanting to talk to me about your career, asking more questions about social work. And so if you're interested in anything like that, booking a time to speak with me, it's free. I will put the information either on the screen or in the description box below so that we can set up a time to meet to talk more about your questions or social work questions or even career-based questions. Guys, I also wanted to show you something. So one of the perks of being a school social worker, you get gifts all the time. So recently it was school counselor week. I'm not a counselor, but they typically just combine it. They gave me a gift. I've had it for a while and I kept telling myself I would show you guys. But I got all of these cool knickknacks. Isn't it so nice? Got all these things. They also gave me an eye mask that I haven't used, but everything was green, which I thought was really cute. This little trash can thing, which is really, look at the wheels on it. This is so cute. Hi, good morning. May I speak to Miss? Is this still a good time? Okay, awesome. So as I mentioned, it will take about an hour, no longer than an hour. So we're gonna try our best to get through it, okay? All right, guys, so I'm done that. It took me only 20 minutes. So the thing with intakes is that it can take you anywhere from, I always like to say 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much information the parent shares. So because we finished early, I now have to go back in and fill in the gaps. Oh, I have to send her the crisis hotline number, but I have to go back in and like really elaborate on the things that she spoke about. And then I have to give a interpretive summary at the end, which basically brings together, synthesizes all of the information I received from the parent and put it into words, highlighting the presenting problem, the onset, the mental health history, substance use history, things like that. Co-occurring disabilities and or disorders, just things that will really inform the diagnosis that I'm going to give the client. And once I put the summary together, it's really a justification that speaks to why I'm giving the client the diagnosis I'm giving the client. Also possible too that you can do the assessment but then not have a lot of information on what the diagnosis is going to be. So in that case, you can oftentimes, you can state that in the rationale. You can indicate that, you know, at this time, you don't have enough information on what the diagnosis can be, and you can possibly give it like an adjustment disorder if the criteria is met for that, or you can put an unspecified disorder. For example, in the different classes of disorders, they have a section that has other specified or unspecified disorder under that class. So for example, when it comes to the trauma, I'm gonna see if I can find it. The trauma and stress related disorders, I'm looking at the DSM-5. They have a section, like it goes through and it gives you all of the disorders that meet the criteria for trauma or stress related disorders. So it just goes through all of them. Now, if you have a client who doesn't meet any of the criteria for any of the disorders within this diagnostic class, then you can put other, what does it say? Specified trauma and stressor related disorder, right? Or you can put unspecified trauma and stressor related disorder. There are some cases in which the client has experienced trauma and has trauma related symptoms, but it doesn't meet any of the disorders highlighted in that. So now you have to put it in other, specified or unspecified. And so I think doing it that way, you play it safe. And then another thing I heard too is that it's always better to underdiagnose, right? You want to start off with underdiagnosis because you have to recognize that these diagnoses go on the client's mental health history, right? On their records. So you don't want to like give them something extreme and then you find out later on that this client didn't have any of those things. So I believe that it's probably best practice to underdiagnose starting out if you don't have enough information, instead of just going in and saying this thing is PTSD or this thing is whatever else. Like, it's always best to just underdiagnose to play it safe if you're not sure, because when it comes to insurance and billing, you have to make sure that when you're putting in your notes, in your treatment plan and your interventions, that everything that you're doing speaks to that disorder, right? And so if you have, you know, something very extreme, maybe like schizophrenia, but then like the things you guys are working on in the sessions are not addressing the diagnosis, then you got to be careful because insurance may not pay for that session. So you really just want to make sure that you're playing it safe. So that's just my preference. That's just something that I do. I am school-based, so I don't have to worry about insurances, okay? I'm not an outpatient therapist, so I have worked for a clinic before, but I currently work for a school-based program. And so because of that, I don't have to deal with insurances and stuff like that. So I have a little bit more room with that, but I just personally believe that it's best to just play it safe. You really don't want to go over and then you end up finding out that, wow, the client never had that. It's just very hard to justify that, oh, I didn't actually mean schizophrenia, I meant this or I meant that. So I just want to, that's just me. But I want you guys to comment down below and let me know, do you overdiagnose or do you underdiagnose? And then let me know why as well. All right, you guys, I'm back. I can't really say I remember the last time I spoke to you guys, maybe 2 hours ago. But I got a chance to do the intake with the parent. I typed up the interpretive summary / diagnostic rationale. And so that took me a little minute just because I was explaining to you all how sometimes even after you do the assessment, things are not still clear. So you don't always know what the diagnosis is going to be, but you can only do your best. And so I spent time doing that. And then I had another student that I needed to meet with. So met with him. And so now I have about 9 minutes just to catch my breath and chill out for a little bit. So that I can meet, I have a, not client, but I'm meeting with one of my coworkers because I'm one of the lead members on my team. And so I have a small group of clinicians that I'm assigned to meet with on a monthly basis to provide support and things like that. And so we're meeting just to offer some support, fill her in from our last meeting. Good. Happy Friday. To update you, first of all, do you have any questions or need any support on things going on at your school? All right, you guys, so it is almost dismissal time. This is every school social worker's dream. Teacher, whatever you want to call it, as long as you work in a school, you are looking for dismissal time, especially on a Friday. Girl, what? So I wanted to tell you guys, show you guys the slime. Remember how I was telling you guys about me working on slime? I don't know what I'm doing wrong, guys. So I used, this is how it came out, and this is not the way. I know it looks like I did it right now, but it always ends up being like super, like it breaks easily. And it's just, you have to feel the texture in order to know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm referring to. If I can get it. This is what I'm referring to. And let me try and touch it just so you guys can see. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, guys. I put glue. I put baking soda and baking powder. I put detergent. And then I put sand because a little bit of sand does get its texture like good enough so that it's not sticking to you. But I don't know, it still like rips apart easily. And I never used to have to use sand in the past. So that's why I'm like, what changed? I don't know. But I made this with one of my clients just now. And I was like, baby, I don't know what to tell you. This slime is not sliming. And we've tried everything. So if you are a child care provider or a parent and you know how to make slime in a way that it doesn't, if you just have the recipe for slime and you know that recipe is proven, like it works and everything, please let me know. So anyway, I'm getting ready to, what am I getting ready to do? Oh, one of my clients has a behavior chart that I created. So I just met with her teachers now to see how she did for the week so that I can give her an incentive. So what happened is I partnered with her mom. See, now I'm getting all distracted playing with this. Let me put this away. So I met with her mom to create a behavior chart and to put together an incentive box so that at the end of every week, depending on her behavior, she gets a prize. And so let me show you guys the box. Okay, so this is the box. She has things like Pocky sticks and other girly things. So I'm looking forward to giving her an incentive because she has worked very hard. I never really used to feel like behavior charts were effective. Like whenever it comes to incentives and rewards systems and things like that. But y'all, she really has been working her butt off to get her her behavior together and also get her work completed, because her work was not being completed because of her behavior, right? It's not like she has an intellectual disability. She just wasn't doing her work because she was not paying attention to class because she was distracted. If you all feel like behavior charts are effective, please let me know. If you feel like they're not effective, you've tried and you just don't know what else you can do to get it to be effective, then let me know as well. So I have completed all of my documentation for the day. Actually, we have about an hour left until dismissal, and so I am gonna clean up my office, because right now, child, it's not a mess, but I just like to give it a nice wipe down, because after I meet with all of those kids, they come in here, they touch everything, girl, I got marker stains on my desk, my table. Kids done put their hands on it, ate their lunch in here and stuff like that. So I just want to wipe everything down, clean up,